and welcome again to Red Gaming Tech for yet more daily gaming news on myself, Amata. Today is still the 29th of March and I have a rather lengthy video for you today regarding Battlefield 4 Naval Strike DLC, as of course it was delayed for both the Xbox One and the PC. However, DICE have released it for the Xbox One version now. Unfortunately, the PC version is still delayed at this time, but I do have the full patch notes for today's update for the Xbox One version, and it is now available on Xbox Live along with a patch which fixes numerous issues. Now, first up on our list we have general stability improvements, which include fix for a crash that could occur when players were customizing vehicles, fix for an issue in the rush game mode where end of round screen was always indicate that there were 60 minutes left in the game. Fix for an issue where the splash damage for IFV shells, helicopter rockets and mortar rounds were unable to destroy deployed equipment. Fix for an issue that could cause a quad bike to explode when it hit indestructible objects. Fix for an issue that would cause sniper rifles to display too much bloom when aiming in snowy conditions, especially the outside areas of Operation Locker. Fix for an issue where the ECM would sometimes fail to jam incoming missiles. Shortened the takeoff distances for jets to match the length of the runways in second assault maps. Fix for going above ceiling exploits in Operation Metro. Fix for a new MAV riding exploit. Fix for kill camera jittering, strobing, sometimes if colliding with other world objects or terrain. Fix for soldiers getting catapulted when walking on steep surfaces, which sounds quite amusing to witness, I have to admit. Next up we have a few fixes to the netcode, including fix for an issue where the kill camera would display the incorrect killer, fix for an issue where the kill card won't show up when playing on servers which have the kill camera turned off, fix an issue where other soldiers would appear to fire in the wrong direction when turning quickly, fix weapons firing twice or not at all in some instances, fix for an issue where explosions didn't do any damage to infantry and vehicles that were outside of the combat area, fix for an issue where late joining players wouldn't correctly experience Levolution events on Parasol Storm and Flood Zone, and fix for an issue that could cause packet loss. And there was one change to the progression in which they added gold battle packs as reward for class service stars, which basically allows you to have basic players that have matched the max rank to continue earning new battle packs. As well as this, we have a couple of tweaks to the weapons and gadgets, which include increase the damage of the normal buckshot against targets with body armor, reduce the vertical recoil of the M4 and the M16A4 to give these burst-fire weapons a tighter burst accuracy in their mid to long range role, reduce side-to-side and first-shot recoil of the G36C. This weapon now has the lowest side-to-side recoil of the carbines and gives a clear controllable low rate of fire, especially when compared to the AK-5C, Type 95B1 and the AKU-12. Tweaks the detonation time of the 40mm LVG so it bounces less before going off. The maximum damage has now, however, been reduced to 80 like the RGO. Reduce the number of how many 40mm HE and LVG rounds players can carry from 4 to 3, and increase the time it takes to get new 40mm rounds from ammo boxes. This time is longer for HE and LVG grenades and shorter for utility grenades such as SMK and Flash. Speaking of grenades, we have a couple of tweaks which basically increase the time it takes to get RGO impact, V40 Mini, M84 Flashbang and M18 smoke grenades from ammo boxes. And basically, since you can now carry more of the grenades, the resupply delay needs to be longer to prevent grenade spamming, which sounds fairly reasonable. One tweak to the vehicles, which basically significantly, excuse me, I can't talk today, improved the suppression from mounted vehicle weapons, including miniguns, HMGs, LMGs and all shell types for armoured vehicles, as well as a few tweaks to the aircraft, including further reduce the repair rate for scout helicopters and transport helis, significantly increase the damage of transport helicopter miniguns, change the flight ceilings of Gulf of Oman, Caspian Border and Operation Firestorm to better match the height of the structures in those levels, as well as adjusting the damage of the 25mm and 30mm cannons for both stealth jets and mobile AA to be equal in damage per second to the 20mm default weapons. These weapons were clearly poorer choices in all circumstances, and the different rates of fire are intended to be the player's choice factor for these weapon systems. And finally, I'm going to be finishing up with the AC-130 gunship tweaks, in which they have increased the splash damage and the range at which the JDAM bombs can achieve max splash damage. The JDAM's power was not properly balanced with its difficulty to use. The JDAM remains a primarily anti-vehicle weapon. This change will increase the effectiveness against all targets. They also increased the accuracy and direct hit damage of the AC-130 40mm cannons. 40mm cannons can now be used to fire pinpoint shots in 2 to 3 round bursts, enabling them to provide inaccurate fire on infantry and vehicle targets. Their velocity has also been marginally increased to aid in accuracy. And finally, we have increased splash damage and range on the AC-130 25mm cannons, and these cannons will now do about 50% more damage in a slightly increased area of impact, and the increased damage as well as increased suppression effects will allow the 25mm cannon to fill its role as an area of effect weapon against infantry. So there you have it, a rather long video regarding all the changes coming to the Xbox One version of Battlefield 4. I would assume that all these changes and maybe more will be making its way to the PC when eventually the Naval Strike DLC is released on that platform. But unfortunately at this time I do not have an update for you regarding the PC. But of course I will be keeping you updated as soon as I get any news. Anyway, that is me done for this video. Hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.